Alright, so here we are at my local pull-apart yard. Tim is helping. He's got the cart and the tools. Look at some of this stuff, though. You know, number one, business here seems to be dwindling. And when you look at the cars, I mean, so many of them are just old, outdated vehicles. Don't get me wrong, they've got a few newer ones here and there, like little Chevy Spark right here. But, hey, look, there's an Astro. Sitting where it's not supposed to be sitting. How about that? We were looking for parts for one just a week or so ago. But I mean, when you look at these cars, like, the difference between pull-apart and LKQ is just crazy. Pull-apart's got so many of just older model vehicles. You can look around and see it. It's just, you know, look, a Cavalier. Like, Pontiac Transport. There's so many cars here that you don't expect to find anymore, because I don't think anybody drives most of these. Now, what I do love and respect about pull-apart is their classic section right here. You got your old Corvair, you got some Deltas, you got, what is that, a Ranchero, some old Lincolns, you got Continentals, you got an old Caddy right there. Looks like a mid-70s, couple of them. They got some nice classics, but it's like their selection is just so limited out here. It's kind of sad. So if you're looking for newer model stuff, I typically go to LKQ. But I happen to know for a fact that they have an RX8 sitting right around the corner here. And we were here looking at Chevy Astro parts not that long ago, and that RX8, if I remember correctly, was a complete car. Like, it hadn't been touched yet. So we're coming around the corner here, and the RX8 should be sitting at towards the end. Fingers crossed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. I'm certain it was right here on the end, and I'm not seeing anything. It looks like a lot of these cars were switched out. No, there it is right there. It's right in front of us, but people have been pulling it apart. Yeah, the airbox I wanted is gone. But that makes it easier to get to the shutter valve solenoid, and we can pull the intake off, so it's still going to have all of the, it's going to have the solenoids in the back that I need. It's still got the air pump, so we're going to pull this. We're going to pull the intake, pull the solenoids, maybe take off this thermostat housing right here. It's hard to see, but down here, pull this thermostat housing, and we might go ahead and pull the shutter valve as well, which sits right here. Actually, this shutter valve is jammed. Yeah, this one is jammed, so I don't think this one's any good. We may pull it anyway just for fun. But we've definitely got some parts. I'm curious to see if we've got speakers. We do have speakers. We still have the dash panel here. We got some miscellaneous parts we need out of here. The radio's gone though, isn't it? The radio is gone. Alright, well, looks like we still have the speakers in the back, the speakers in the doors. So it's not a complete loss. You know, we found some of the parts. I was really hoping we could find a radio, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. That sucks. This thing was complete not that long ago. Alright, well, I guess we will commence the tearing into the parts that we need. Alright, so here is this little air pump, which I'm hoping is good. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I hope that this is good. We're just going to unbolt it. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want to remove this from. Looks like it's got a bolt down in the bottom somewhere up here. May just take these bolts out and see if this comes apart. I don't know. Looks like we can just take this off from the bottom here. That's going to be an 8mm. Let me tell you something. Pulling this upper plenum off is a pain in the ass, especially this back bolt right here. That sucker is real difficult to get to. So here are the solenoids that I'm needing, the 3. Got one here, and one here. And one runs to this, one runs to this, one runs back here to this. There we go. So it's important to remember where all these go. So the top one that's got a blue connector runs to this, where the air pump valve is. The middle one runs to the shutter valve, and it's a white connector. And then the bottom one is a black connector, and it runs to whatever the hell this is right here. So part of me is documenting this for you guys, and part of it so I can come back later if I decide to do this. And let me tell you, after doing it on this one, I don't really know that I want to do this on mine. There's the coils. Tim removed the strut bar. I've been working on the intake. We got all kinds of little components for the interior. We got the air pump. I got the blend door actuator for the heat and AC. We got all kinds of little stuff for the RX8. So I guess we'll continue on. Before we go, as I was pulling one of these seats out, it was stuck to the bottom of the car, and I don't know if it's actually burnt or if this is something from the fuel tank that leaked past the seals into the car over time, but this looks burnt to me. And my RX8 does have several recalls on it at this time. One of them is for a flammable fuel tank. They have to take the fuel tank out and put some special heat treatment and replace some lines that crack and cause fires and explosions. But this definitely feels burnt to me. What do you guys think? It seems like it gets so hot in here that move some of this crap out of the way. It seems like it gets so hot in here that it actually melts the seat to the car. But I don't know, because I think here's an access panel to the fuel tank. I could be wrong. It could be on the other side. Maybe that's just fuel vapors escaping and reacting with this foam material. Or maybe it actually gets so hot that it melts the seats. That's scary. That's scary. And my car has the recall for the, what are they, Takeda airbags or something like that. The driver airbag has a recall. Passenger airbag has a recall. I've got like 2 recalls for the fuel system catching on fire. It's got an appointment with Mazda, Bob Moore Mazda up in Edmond next Friday to get all the recalls taken care of. And then, of course, I've got another story to talk to you guys about later. Is this a Chevy Vega? It is. I almost said Chevy Monza.
I was thinking Chevy Nova.
I meant Vega. Nova? People on this channel here, you say you thought this was a Nova, they would hang you.
That's fine. It's half anyway.
Look at that. What a cute little car. I can't remember the last time I've seen one of these. Wow. Got some good old classics here. They really do. Sad to see them all sitting here just rotting away. Look at that. Look at the size of that engine, right? Good God. That thing's huge. It says it's a 390. Now, these are the cars that had the plush interior. They were comfortable. Is that a cat? Oh my. Wow. Okay. There's no badges on this car, but I know that it's a Galaxy 500. Love this old car. These are the cars that rode down the streets and it was like you weren't even in a car. It's almost like you're riding in a bed. Great vehicles. I sure do miss them. Cadillac Fleetwood. I'd almost bet money that engine still ran when they brought it in here too. I really do miss old cars like this. I mean, I really, really miss old cars like this. Nothing rode quite like a Cadillac back in the day, except maybe a Lincoln. How cute. An MG. An MG that's been torn to pieces. I'm not entirely sure what this one is. That's, I don't know.
This is that one car from that one movie.
I don't know what this is. Anybody know what this car is? If you do, comment below. Tell me what it is. Because I honestly have no idea. I know it's got a motor in the back of it that says Moog. Moog. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Wow. Whew, okay, that's good. I don't want to be anywhere near this one anymore. Hold on, here's a plate. Certain parts of this vehicle are protected by one or more British patents. So there's a... here we go. Here we go. Here's another one. Here's another tag. The MG Car Company. England. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. There we go. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen an MG like that before. That's not what I think of when I think MG safari vehicle, right? Someone tried to turn this into a convertible, or they just cut the top off because they wanted to. It's very unusual. Huh. You find some strange things out here, let me tell you. Boy, this thing must have been sitting for a long time. Animals made this a comfy home. Look at that. 1968 Jeep Gladiator. An old Chevy. Well, this thing has literally been picked apart. There's nothing left of it except for the intake manifold up there. Had the wood bed. Alright, so the car is just running so much better than it was. She's got her power back. We're still running on that first tank of gas that's got half a tank of crud in it. Alright, so now that I have purchased all these miscellaneous parts, I don't think I'm going to take the time to even put them on. I think I'm just going to sell them with the car. I think the car is going to be a good deal for somebody that has the time and the energy to put into it. This is not the car for me personally. A lot of your comments have made a lot of sense. A lot of you have said, hey man, you know, you did good finding the car and you know, you don't need to restore it. You resurrected it from the dead. Be happy with that, sell it, move on. And I think you're right, because after all, that's partly what this channel is about. It's about, you know, taking something and fixing it up and then selling it. Now, sure, I could take a lot of time and probably spend a lot of money doing all kinds of maintenance things to bring this thing back up to par, but at the same time, you know, you have to really start considering how much you're putting into it and how much you're going to get out of it. I think this car is going to be a great deal for somebody, and I feel very comfortable putting it up for sale. A lot of you also mentioned, hey man, you don't need an RX8 for a play car, especially an automatic, when you have a Mustang GT. I mean, I've got a 435 horsepower, brand new Mustang GT. I've only put 5,000 miles on it, so it has 5,000 miles on the odometer, and I've had it a year. I rarely drive it. I don't need a Corvette either. You know, maybe someday, but I think you guys have talked me out of that as well. I've got a great car. The Mustang GT is a fun car. I love it. I enjoy every time I get in it and drive. So I think I'm just going to stick with the Mustang GT. We're going to work on getting that paid off as well. And we are going to list the RX8 for sale. And trying to decide what kind of a price to put on it, that's difficult. In case you guys forgot what the car looked like when I picked it up, here are some pictures before, and then we'll switch over to some after pictures. So you guys can, those of you that maybe missed the previous video when we actually picked it up from auction, have a look. You can tell me what you think of the before and after. I think the majority of you saw the video of when I picked it up, and obviously needed some work, but I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how it looks now. A lot of work went into this. A lot of attention to detail went into this, and I think it looks great. So there you go. There's the before and after pictures. Tell me what you think. Do you think the car came out nice? I think it looks really, really good, especially in consideration where it came from, how long it's been sitting, the fact that you can get out and run it and drive it as it is right now. We're on the second tank of gas now. Check engine light is still on. The air pump light, the check engine light for the air pump has gone away. Now it's just the control valve or whatever for the shutter solenoid. The air pump apparently just started working again on its own, I guess. I don't know. Either way, that's it for this video. We're going to put it up for sale. I think, I don't know. We'll talk about price later, I guess, but comment below what you think I should list the car for. I'll take that into consideration. It's not ready to sell yet. It's going to the dealer this Friday for some recall work on those Takeda, I think it's Takeda airbags, both of them, as well as a couple recalls for the fuel system catching on fire, so it's got to go in for that. I still have the new tires coming that have to be put on it. So it's not ready to sell just yet, but it's getting close. So, comment below, tell me what you think it's worth, and then I'll take that into consideration. There's one guy on Facebook that contacted me and said that he wants to buy it next week for $4 grand. I thought that was just spectacular. If that goes through, absolute awesome deal. And if that does go through, he said he'd be cool with being on a video too, so we could do a video of it. He says he's 19 and owns his own body shop, restores a bunch of old classic cars, things of that nature. So I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he wants me to do it. Shout out to you. Thank you for contacting me. And, we'll see if it goes through or not. But regardless, we're going to sell it. That's what's going to happen. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like the content. Give it a thumbs down if you think it sucked. Don't forget to comment below. Stay safe out there. And I'll catch you guys soon in the next one.